Episode number 555.
Yeah.
555, 555.
The infamous area code from movies.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
555 is the area code they always use in movies because it's not a real area code.
Well, we didn't want to wait until episode 666 for the Devils episode. We have 2 years to plan that one.
Yeah. Comment below.
This is for you, Satan.
Subscribe, do all the things, click the button. See ya, bye. So, special episode. What are we doing today?
Yeah, we are doing the 1996 Truly Simply Elegant is what it's called, translated to Zhenchunya Hao, which is said poorly by me, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. So this was kindly sold to me by Linda Louie. She sold it to me at a very nice price, so thank you, as a favor, as a fellow tea educator, mm-hmm. as she put it. So nice. Thank you very much to her. Check out Bana Tea. So this is a famous tea because it's kind of like the restart of kind of like the boutique teas, and it's kind of a callback to the Haoji era of pu'erh. So back when like the Iwu areas and stuff like that were used for kind of like the primary spot for tea, for pu'erh making, and kind of like those different processing. So they supposedly kind of enrolled people with some familiarity with that when they created this in 1996. Nice. I was just scrolling through her notes, and it sounds like it was a big process in terms of like studying the old tea making techniques and things like that. Mm-hmm. So it took a couple years before they kind of were ready. And so this is a very historically significant batch in 1996. I think there was an earlier batch that was kind of more experimental in 1985. Mm-hmm. Okay. So talking about this just because this history is all kind of important towards the significance of this tea. Right. Nice. So we can keep talking as we kind of get into it, but definitely we are going to go. I have not had this tea before. You have not had this tea before. Yeah. So this is definitely going to be a treat. Yeah, totally. And what parameters are we using for this? Using my standard ones. Yeah. We're going to use a Gaiwan, 5 grams, 75 milliliters. Cool. One danger with using kind of different parameters is like if you're not used to them, it's harder to know how to react. Exactly. So. Yeah, I was just going to ask that as a follow-up question. Yeah. Yeah. Would there ever be a case where you would not use your standard parameters for a new tea? Usually not. Yeah. It's not my preference. Yeah. But, maybe if it's like a tea outside the category. But this is still like a raw pu'erh from like 1996. So it's not like... It's different than kind of normal pu'erhs, but it's not that different. Yeah, it's totally. Not like we're brewing like, I don't know, bug poop tea from the 1950s or something. Yeah, I think it's a good idea too. And actually, I'll be honest, I've been way more careful now about measuring and weighing my tea for my first evaluation of teas and for subsequent evaluations as well, and or comparisons. And even to the point where if you're doing a comparison, being pretty plugged in on how dense the pieces are in the cup. Because if you have 2 big, really dense pieces versus, another tea that's very loose, you can brew out very different speeds, and they're going to throw the comparison quite a bit. So we're not doing a comparison, but the point being specific, being a little nitpicky about something like especially like this. A tea like this, where it's not like we have a whole cake to play around with. It's like we have just a little bit. So we don't want to screw it up too bad. On here. And thanks for getting this, man. Yeah, so Linda, close connections with Vesper Jan, who has Best Tea House in Hong Kong. So I'm guessing that's probably kind of the original source there. Nice. Let's get into this. Awesome. And give this tea a rinse. The highly descriptive Best Tea House. Not to be confused with the second Best Tea House. And we chatted a little bit before the episode about this tea. So I guess James was mentioning that this tea does have a bit of a polarizing thing potentially on it. Yeah. Looks like a pu'erh tea to me. Interesting. And so I have conditioned this tea in my humidor, just kept it there for a couple months. This Linda is based in kind of Southern California area, so that's where it was before. It smells actually nice and rich. It smells richer than I thought. Very fruity. I'm surprised. Yeah, so I've kind of read mixed reviews on this. So Lawrence over at Marshall, you can read, he drank a different version of this a long time ago. Okay. And he said he got kind of aged oolong vibes. So I think that's something to watch out for here. I smell the fruity aged oolong thing in it, definitely. Interesting, cool. Yeah, and then another review I read from a few years ago from Wuju over at Short Little Steeps. he talked about how this was not quite as intense as it had been when he originally tried it 10 to 15 years ago. And so he was a little concerned that the intensity was dying. So, let's keep this tea pretty short to start. I don't know exactly how it should be, but it smelled nice, rich, some fruit, some wood.
Yeah,
coming off of that.
Nice and syrupy thick. Really clean looking. It smelled really nice, just in terms of nothing off, no funky, nasty aromas or anything like that.
Yep. So a little bit more of history of the tea. You can dig into this too. I want to just make sure I do justice to this history as much as I can.
Yeah.
It was made by Lu Lizhen, kind of in collaboration with Zhang Yi. Lu Lizhen is Taiwanese, and so he was one of the group that went over there and started the production. Zhang Yi is like the local. I think he was some sort of I forget exactly what his role was, but he was a very important part of kind of like a lot of these early iwus.
Right. And let me interject, because I think you mentioned the eras, but not the sort of timing. So this is trying to replicate teas that were produced before World War II.
Yes.
There were kind of iwu material teas in a certain style that then kind of fell out of style.
Right. It moved into kind of like the big factories, like your Munghai Tea Factory, your Shaguan, although they weren't called that consistently throughout.
Sure.
So it's a throwback to pre-1950.
Right.
Yeah.
Not to say this is 1950 material, this is trying to be in the style of that.
Correct.
And especially if those sort of traditions of production have been lost, then there's some experimentation, and maybe that's why they're reaching out for these different people who might have, recollection or a relationship to those styles.
So in many ways, this is seen as kind of like the first part of like the boutique era that would come, which of course is very Taiwanese centered.
Yeah.
So let's dig in.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Remarkably sweet. Interesting.
Pretty woody. A hint of...
Do you get some sourness on it?
Tang, yeah, exactly. Yeah. It has a nice expansiveness that I do associate with iwu. Just kind of like this nice mouth coating.
Yeah. The front on it is very iwu sweet to me. I'm going to say... First shot, I think I like it.
I think so too. In fact, I'd say it's better than I expected.
Some of these old teas, right, you kind of expect them to get into more of that compost character, but something like this that, is kind of...
Obviously not
at all.
It's not like Hong Kong traditional story.
Yeah, exactly. So it's very, quite different.
Yeah. Maintains a lot of the vibrancy, but also the processing techniques are going to be different. So there's a lot of confounders here. We're not going to get to the bottom of everything with this tea, but we will try our best to enjoy it.
Really nice already, and very nice lasting flavor. Not at all bitter or astringent. I like the fruit on it.
Yeah, me too.
The sourness is not even really a bad thing necessarily, or even particularly intense, but it's there. Tangy is the right way to put it. Yeah, sour sounds kind of bad, but it's got kind of like a fruity, tangy punch.
Tangy is like on the road to sour.
Yeah, totally.
Not quite there.
Yeah. The color is beautiful. And a little bit darker.
Yep. Yeah, great aftertaste. I'm really enjoying the aftertaste.
Not the strongest in its green flavors, so the spectrum of kind of like grass to hay to yerba mate or even sage. For me, be curious what you think about that. Really nice lasting flavor. I like the wood on it. It's pretty smooth.
Yeah, I don't really get the grassy flavors at all. Definitely like woody and fruity.
Yeah.
I'm going to just say that I don't think I would peg this tea as nearly 30 years old. Like I think if I had to guess, I probably would have put this tea in like the 2000s.
Yeah, exactly. Or like 2008, something like that for me.
And part of that is just because it's rare. It's like, I'm going to guess 1996. It's like, how many teas?
Yeah, fair. yeah.
But
legitimate.
Like it like because of the storage, it doesn't taste.
The taste, there's nothing. It's not a very old tasting tea in that way.
Yes.
Yeah, interesting. Let's keep going.
Cheers.
Beautiful. Cheers. I can kind of see like the oolongy thing happening.
It's oddly a little thinner on this steep, but maybe we'll have to push it a little more on this next one. But yeah, what's the oolong note you're picking up?
It's kind of the sweetness of the wood flavor for me that I sometimes notice, and also potentially a little bit more of the roundness, or even like it's like even a little bit nutty or roasty. The wood flavor specifically.
Yeah.
Mostly the sweetness on this.
Any camphor or anything like that? I'm not getting much.
I was getting it in the nose a little bit on the Gaiwan, but not really at all in the cup.
Okay.
Very mellow.
Yeah.
Just in terms of its profile.
Yeah, we had a 1994 tea from earlier this year that was intense.
Yeah, very different.
Yeah.
This is really, I'm actually really enjoying this a lot.
Yeah.
And again, it's hard. So it's like, what is the Feynman quote? You're the easiest person to fool or whatever, fooling yourself or whatever. In terms of like convincing yourself of a thing that's to be true, right? So of course it's hard to take personal bias knowing that this is a kind of a fancy, fairly very expensive tea, and definitely a treat. So, drinking this blind is kind of like the thing I ask myself, what would I think of this if I were drinking it blind? And this to me tastes like really nice. Very, actually, quite a nice strong base Huigan happening for me.
I agree. Yeah, it's really coating the mouth. It's quite nice.
Yeah. So it's getting a little bit redder.
Yeah.
Here, let's actually cut, and I'm going to bring the camera in and get some coverage.
Sounds good.
I think we'll want to see that. Right. And did you push this one, or was this
maybe just
flush?
A hair more?
Okay.
But yeah, maybe we're at the point where I should start pushing it just a little bit, just see what we get out of it. Yeah, interesting. The leaves, it's fairly variable leaves.
Mm-hmm.
I did see that they talked about the picking standard being like, what was it? Shoot, I missed it, but it was like 1 to 3 in terms of like bud to like leaf or something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just sitting here.
Let me see.
You do that. Sitting here and continuing to taste this one, the bold, bassy flavor of this is really, really nice. And it's not too intense. Sometimes those bassy, bitter flavors can get acrid and almost like chewing a Tylenol pill or something. It's really unpleasant. It has this nice... It's not a peatiness necessarily or even really grassy. For me, it's just that kind of like... I almost imagine like a fog enveloping a valley of... I don't know how that makes sense, but...
Do we need to give Sam a call?
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Sam. Just like a really persistent, delicious, bitter, strong base that brings that salivation up to the top and that sort of sweetness. Really, really, really nice. I think that's maybe where this, for me, is being separate from, just a standard, whatever, boutique Taiwanese Iwu. And a little bit salivation inducing, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah. I mean, salivation inducing in kind of a nice way.
Yeah.
Struggling to find out where exactly this was, but they talk a lot about how like the first batch was rejected. 1 bud and 3 leaves that met the standard, so it's like a certain ratio that they were trying to maintain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's do it. Cheers.
Because we're GDB, I'm going to say this is going to pass the mom test.
Yeah. Honestly?
I can tell you didn't expect that one.
Well, no. I mean, this is very approachable.
Yeah.
For a pu'erh tea.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know how much you and I are now in like the bitter lovers club, right? Where we just can't even know.
Where you kind of get acclimated.
I know there's bitterness here.
There is some, especially in this one. Yeah.
Yeah. But still, it's really pleasant and sweet. There's lots on the top. I think you'd have to know what you're drinking going into this. You couldn't just serve this to someone blind. Yeah. Nor would you ever serve this to a tea noob. Oh my god.
It's more the context of it. But I do think like if you serve this to a mom, they might be like, oh, it's nice.
Yeah. There's a lot of sweetness on top. I like the fruit on it. Yeah, really hesitant to say easy drinking. I mean, like I would love to drink this on a regular basis. Pretty crazy how well this is held up.
Yeah.
I would expect
nice depth to it too.
Yeah. I would expect it to have turned into what I would characterize as older flavors.
Yeah, or just like bland.
Yeah. Totally fading a little bit.
A lot of that. I mean, definitely partly attributed to the storage, which is certainly dry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, also to the material. I mean, like this is holding up. I'll be honest, like much better than I expected.
I'm enjoying this one a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Very interesting. Okay, we'll let that go for 15, 20 seconds.
Nice.
See what we get.
Yeah, totally.
Any teas this reminds you of?
Honestly, 8582.
8582.
I've been like sitting here thinking in my life, like I'm not gonna say it. Sacrilegious. Like don't do it, dude. Don't do it. God. Intrusive thoughts. Don't say it. Insofar as it's got the base on it is very different, I think, but the upper fruity notes to it is really pleasant and reminds me a lot of that, and the mellowness of this tea. So the lingering base on this tea is much stronger, more vivid. This is much, in my opinion, honestly, a little bit cleaner in terms of its like notes.
What about compared to like some of the Iwu boutiques? Does it cross you as similar to like the stuff that would come like a decade later? Just talking like Zhenchunya Hao, Zhenchunya Hao.
Yes, although those teas still to me have a little bit more green flavor. Sure. And I think that this is maybe just aged that out at this point. So kind of a potential promise of the future for some of those teas.
Yeah, I do wonder if some of those teas, they talk a lot about like the rolling being sufficient and stuff like that. I wonder if they are not, they have the bones or not.
Yeah.
Just because like picking and over-picking became such an issue as like time would go by.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting camphor in the nose on this.
Let me get in there.
Give it a stir around with your finger. Nice. Huh. Not in a strong way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's subtle.
Yeah. I think if this tea had maybe a little stronger storage. In fact, I know someone that had this that was Taiwan stored.
Okay.
Like last year, I think. And I'm not sure. I wonder what that experience was like.
Yeah, I like it for where it is right now.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you, Linda.
Oh, it's definitely stronger. Yeah. Here's the bitterness.
It more though. It's like.
Yeah. Well, this is where you're getting into the pu'erh part, where it's like the initial flavors aren't that necessarily inherently appealing, but what happens next is really nice.
Yeah.
Like just coats the mouth. I feel the depth of the tea more.
I'm getting a little bit of mouth cooling, and then just like a really nice kind of oily, deep. Sometimes I describe teas as being kind of really front of the tongue. Versus just like kind of coating and going all the way down. This is really nice.
Does this feel like a Iwu tea?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when I've been drinking, especially more recently, drinking Iwu teas, kind of focusing on it, the thing that really strikes me the most of those teas is like the immediate, for me, saccharine sweet front flavor, and then that sweep of bitterness, and then coming back to that sweetness. Yeah. And I just feel like this kind of has that in spades. It's really nice.
Yeah. I feel like Iwu teas are kind of softer in their initial approach, but they can be pretty strong teas if you pay attention.
Yeah, absolutely. The base on this is still really nice. Maybe even a little bit mineral-y. And
I can see that. Yeah. A little resinous too.
Yeah. This is
really nice.
Yeah. It's funny because I want to like pick it apart or whatever, but I'm just really enjoying it. I like how you're brewing it too. I think this is a good ratio. Because it's definitely still strong enough. Good lasting mouthfeel. Plenty of flavor, but not too much.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Comment below if you've had some I don't know, what's the craziest tea you've had? Let us know. And also send us a link on where to buy it. Send me a link.
Yeah. And a coupon code.
Yeah, right? So, color-wise, what do you think? Is it fading at all? I think it's still pretty strong.
I'm adding time, but it's still going pretty strong.
I think so.
Color.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how long this kind of a tea lasts.
Yeah.
Just in terms of steeps.
I think we might actually go fairly long on camera on this one.
Yeah, I'm definitely down.
It's it's definitely a special occasion one.
Definitely worth doing so. And the material itself is really good looking. I mean, really nice whole leaves. Man. Just honestly, it's kind of like classic. Weird. Yeah, it was great. Cheers.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this definitely feels like boutique. Getting kind of like this apple acidic thing going on this one. It is changing steep in, steep out a little more than I perhaps expected. There's a nice juiciness and oiliness and thickness there.
Yeah, the fruitiness on this is really interesting to me, and then now the sweetness comes back so strong. Oh, damn, this is great.
Yeah, I can sort of see the oolong comparisons, especially in kind of like the initial mouthfeel and like the sweetness that you initially get hit with.
It is so sweet.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah, very, yeah.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, very like peaceful.
Yeah, minimal camphor, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Which is maybe one of the more surprising things to me. Like that it could be, have a pretty decent taste.
Yeah.
Minimal in that.
Totally, yeah, because it's quite strong still.
Yeah.
But doesn't have as much of that profile. Yeah, the nice kind of like a nice sweet resin that lingers in the mouth. And just the sweetness. Still bring it fairly dark.
Yep.
Yeah, nice. And with these kind of really fancy teas, the late steepings are almost, for me, as interesting if I can make sure I'm still plugged in. And I try to with these kinds of teas. And it helps to do the show, honestly, or film a Denny Sode and do it or whatever, and like...
Sure. Is that the trick to appreciating tea? Become Denny and film Denny Sodes?
I mean, honestly, I think there's something to that. I seriously do, because, it's even like if let's say you're doing an exercise or whatever and you want to record yourself doing it, you're recording, so you're going to be more focused on your form because you don't want to look like a slouch, literally or figuratively.
Sure.
When doing it, you're going to have better form.
No, I mean, there's definitely something to be said for keeping tea interesting.
Yeah.
And stuff, and I mean, there's a bazillion ways to do that.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you do remind me, I have, some friends that, started doing blinds regularly, where they're, blinding 3 or 4 teas. And doing that sort of thing, and it's like a way forces you to kind of pay attention a little bit more.
Absolutely.
It's I have 3 Shaoguan teas in this blind, but I don't know which is which.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Or just saying, I'm going to, this session, focus on the late steeps, or every session for this month, I'm going to use pen and paper and write 5 things down about the tea.
Yeah, for sure.
Almost a flowery, perfumey thing happening now. Really making space.
I mean, we haven't even drank this deep yet, but I'm really feeling the expansiveness of this tea. I mean, this is the first tea of the day for us, so it is. It's nice and potent.
Yeah.
Which is a little surprising.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. It's losing just a little bit of the intensity on the base. Still really nice and thick viscosity for me. Lots of sweetness.
Yeah, it's thick. Yeah, I agree with that. It's not the oiliest tea we've ever had. I think the 94 we had earlier this year was really, really oily to start. But yeah, this one, as soon as it goes down, you really feel like it kind of expanding in you.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
Okay. This water nice and hot.
And the bitterness comes now. And we just took a break from the tea for 3 minutes. But really pleasant. Yeah. Damn. I wish this was not so much money and so rare. I mean,
yeah, unfortunately, it's not a tea you can just go out and buy or sample from. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we're very fortunate to even have the chance to try this.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Thanks again, and shout out to Bona and go and buy stuff from them.
Yeah, they do good work.
Yeah. One thing I like about this tea is some teas we have are kind of SAT word, right? Quixotic, kind of like, what's going on? I don't know. I like it.
Word of the day, folks. Go.
Yeah. But this one for me is actually not straightforward. It's dynamic. It's changing, but I am understanding it well. I feel like I'm really having the intellectual experience of tea alongside of this tea.
And part of it too is doing tea, you can be in shape or be out of shape. It's
sure.
You and I have both been actually having a pretty strong year in TDB this year.
Yeah.
It's like TDB, midlife crisis mode or something.
Hell yeah. What'd you do? I bought a Porsche.
Some 88 TV.
Yeah. Spent thousands of dollars on some old pu'erh.
Yeah.
What?
Bought a tea cake. Split it with my buddy. Anyways, where were we at? Yeah. So my point was more that when you're you're kind of locked in to tea, you're kind of in the zone to use like more sports terminology.
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
Maybe you're tasting stuff a little more astutely or skillfully.
He's lighting up. He's on fire.
Yeah.
NBA Jam, baby.
Yeah. 95.
Cheers. Noticing more of the oolongy thing happening a little bit. How do I describe that? Maybe it's the kind of almost sweet front, like a slight plummy character that I'm getting on it now.
I can see that, yeah. In that sense, yeah, kind of like that leather plum stuff. Mm-hmm. It is very aged oolong sort of vibe that you could get.
Yeah. Really nice. And the base profile is actually holding up. I think that this last one was a little bit warmer.
Yeah. This also shows you, if we're to compare it mentally with like the Chow Mu, the 94 tea we had, it's like these boutique teas are on a very different trajectory than
For
like
sure.
those teas like that are processed probably a little more, factory style.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting to note too.
God, I just want to be a fly on the wall at these different places, man, and just see how these things differ. And there's so much mastery involved, and reading the conditions of the environment year by year as different conditions literally are changing around you. Different rainfall, temperature, humidity, even the capacity to have more people working on the tea or less. These all have big influences on the production of the tea, and these masters just like can feel the rhythm of that so beautifully. It'd just be really fun to watch.
And then they come on to TDB where tea goes to die.
Yeah. And then they have to deal with us.
Yeah. This is exactly how I envision tea.
Yeah, the dude's just like shaking my head. God, smoking a cigarette. Why?
It's like what has become of my life?
Yeah.
The last thing you see.
And then we're just in the background, Wu-Tang! Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wu-Tang.
Yeah, subscribe. Yeah. Really nice still. I mean, one of the things that these teas especially, I think, I noticed the lasting intensity and flavor, and it can really, if you're paying attention, just be enjoyed the whole time, right? We're still really tasting, we're still really experiencing the tea. Yeah, we're describing it and, getting into the sort of words of it, but just the actual, my physiology is still very much experiencing the tea. Make sure you're pouring yourself enough for the next few.
So much of it is like not about like the initial taste, but how it lingers.
Yes.
And like how deep it goes.
Especially with these ones, Yeah, and I think that's where these, of course, those all the front part matters quite a bit, but yeah, the specialty for me, the thing
that sets it apart,
the thing that sets it apart is the kind of lingering.
Because others, it's like, oh, what are your notes? Like, oh, it's leather, fruit. I mean, you could get it all wino,
right,
and just like dig up some crazy notes. But I mean, like, it's kind of, pretty familiar stuff.
Yeah. Cheers. Interesting. It's turning. Maybe it's the fruit coming up and create, the kind of losing a little bit of the base so that the higher notes can come. But I really do taste that kind of plumminess. Now on it. Yeah,
it's definitely like some stone fruit.
Yeah.
It's like not quite as dark as some aged longs I've been having recently.
Yeah, for sure.
But it is interesting. Yeah.
Your note about the sour apple character for me now it was a good note, has sort of dissipated and developed into kind of softer flavors, a little bit less.
I agree. I think the sour apple was probably on one where I hit it like slightly harder than probably it needed to be hit.
So good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do one more.
One more.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
this might be the last one.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
What are we on, like 10?
I have no idea.
Okay.
That's a good tea when you don't even care. And it's, so just to be clear, it's not nearly as strong as the first, second, third steepings. Of course, we've lost some of that intensity. I still feel like the viscosity has held up quite a bit.
You can smell this still got some juice to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And just looking through the leaves as well, leaves are actually fairly dark. I agree with you about the variety of leaves, but we haven't lost too much of the kind of saturation of the color. That's one kind of key that I rather note that I'll key into.
And you can also tell that this has been dry stored just from the color of the leaves. Like, they're not super dark.
Yeah.
Not like fully
brown.
Totally.
Yep.
Like, still kind of, they have some green to them as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know the full storage history of this particular tea. Presumably it spent some time in Southern California, sometime in Hong Kong, maybe sometime in Taiwan. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So some people had said that, or rather, I'm forgetting the blogger's name, had said that it had weakened a little bit.
Yeah. Wuju short little steeps, yeah.
I have no reference for the tea to know.
Yeah. Well, he had it a few times before, so I think it's based off of that. So I don't know exactly what it was like, but he talked about how it had lost some of its gelatin-like character.
Huh, interesting.
And like its kind of like overall richness, I think.
Yeah, okay, got it.
It's hard for us to exactly say.
Yeah. I could see that, not to say that I'm tasting it at all, but just in the context of my own tea drinking and tea understanding, yeah, certainly some teas can get aged too long and they'll lose a little bit of their, kind of unctuousness. So
I would say this does not necessarily seem like it's dead.
No, I don't notice that at all, though, in this one, just
pretty
to be clear.
Active. I mean, especially with the dryish storage on this, too.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, just to be clear, I meant that as a kind of a point of how tea can work, but I'm not noticing it in this one specifically. All of the lasting bitterness has faded for me, really making space for lots of sweetness. It's really easy drinking. And the color's fading just a little bit. Cheers.
Yeah, I think I pushed this one a little more, so leaning more into kind of like darker leather. It's got like a still pretty nice strength to it.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of punch to it still.
Yep. A little bit more bitter than the last one, and not in a bad way at all. I think the thing I'm noticing is just the intensity of the high notes has faded. Okay, we're doing another one. I mean, come on, you got to
smell that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a nice strength to it, I gotta say. Like, keeps going and going.
Yeah, totally. Just the lasting sweetness for me really just makes this so pleasant. Wartime test. I'm going no.
Really?
Yeah. It's too chill for me.
I think kind of like the mom test. It's like, it's maybe not what you would choose if like your wallet has something to do. But I don't know. I think this works in a number of contexts.
Okay.
Yeah.
What for the audience who's waiting on your what context?
Which war?
Yeah.
Well, what were the 90s wars? Like Gulf War? Something like
Gulf War. Okay. All right. Desert Storm or whatever.
Yeah. You're on a carrier. I don't know.
We're gonna go. We're slamming this and we're airdropping into the Middle East, y'all. So I probably just offended a good chunk of the audience somehow from that one, but you know,
got a bunch of unsubs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm gonna. My apology tour is coming shortly. Yeah. I'll be good. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
So pushing this nice and good.
There you go. Nice. I mean, still has some legs on the side of the cup and the fairness picture, and the color's still definitely there. Yeah, nice.
It's going to be a difficult tea to follow up on, I will say.
Yeah, we're going to change it up quite a bit for the next episode, so it'll be quite a different cup, I think. All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's still tasty.
I agree. Yeah, it's easy drinking. Really nice.
It's like almost thickened up again.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah. Pretty remarkable.
Yeah. Wood resin. You know, I feel like we've been getting the same variations on different notes for the last 6 or 7 steeps.
Depending on how strong you're brewing it out.
Right.
Yeah, totally. And that's not a complaint. you'll kind of settle, I think, especially for a tea like this, into kind of a holding pattern.
Yeah.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
Good. Just go I don't know, get on Discord to message people or something. I don't know how you get this, but, whatever.
I don't think you can.
Yeah, go. Yeah. Make some friends in the tea space. Become a tea educator yourself, maybe. Subscribe. Help us get to 10,000 subscribers. Send this to...
anyone with a YouTube account.
Yes. Send this to anyone with a YouTube account who...
yeah, log into their YouTube account.
I was going to say, who's stupid enough to listen to this. Subscribe to all the things. We'll see you guys next time.